I ask my students whether they read the newspaper daily. I ask my father whether he walks daily. I ask my mother whether she takes medicines promptly. I ask my son whether he is studying well. I ask my CA whether he is filing the taxes properly. I ask my employees whether they have any problems. I ask my boss whether he is happy with my work. I ask my neighbor whether his son is fine in the USA. I ask my doctor whether my sugar levels are normal. I ask my teacher whether I'm improving my handwriting. I ask my driver whether he's keeping the car in good condition. I ask my patients whether they are taking the medicines regularly. I ask my relatives whether they have time to do exercise. I ask my relatives whether they undergo annual health checkups. I ask my customers whether they are happy with our service. I ask my cook whether he thoroughly washes and cleans the vegetables. I ask my domestic help whether she has thoroughly cleaned and mopped all the rooms. I ask my guests whether the food is tasty. I ask my clients whether they have any complaints. I ask my constituency voters whether they have any problems. I ask my students whether they have any doubts. I ask my students whether they are practicing daily at home. I ask my students whether they see news on TV daily. I ask my students whether they are able to make their own examples. I ask my students whether they can communicate in English. I ask my students whether they have any difficulties in learning English. We use such sentences when the subject frequently, repeatedly, regularly puts the auxiliary questions to the living object to confirm whether something is happening or they are doing the work. This model is used for regularly, repeatedly, frequently asked questions in indirect speech. We begin the sentence with the subject followed by the verb ask and object. Then we put whether clause in present tense. In this video, we are concentrating only on present tense in whether clause. This is one of the frequently and commonly used questions in indirect speech. Read the sentences loudly, clearly, repeatedly to train the tongue. Understand the situation and the sentence structure clearly. Always make own examples to improve your spontaneity and fluency, but never do grammar exercises. They don't improve our communication skills. Thank you. Keep learning English language. Have a great time.